Hey, good morning. I haven't done one of these in at least like 3 hours, so I guess it's time for another one. I'm watching morning TV. I hardly ever watch anything during the day. Very seldom at night now, actually. But that talk show guy, Steve Harvey, is on, and you know, this guy. I mean, people are watching him and thinking he has all the answers. I mean, how is he qualified to be telling anybody? I don't know. He's like telling people how to date and how to do this, how to do that, and how to get along in the real world. I mean, what is this guy's grasp of the real world? He does Family Feud, right? And then he did before that, was it the Kings of Comedy? So I think he's one of those guys. But anyway, so Family Feud, and now he's got a self-help show or whatever. Everybody got a self-help show. They're gonna tell you what to do. And all these shows, they're all the same. They got they make that little comment, and then there's like a little 10-second interval where everybody claps. Everything is like so you gotta you gotta clap, 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 and then the black girl in the crowd will get up and you go, you on all that. Actually, it's probably like a different type of show, but you on all that and blah blah blah, and then clap, 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 clap. That ain't reality, And as far as like say Steve Harvey would go, I mean, I don't. In his ilk, Dr. Phil, who I guess is actually I don't know if he's a real psychologist. I don't know what his claim to fame to get that thing going on, and Dr. Drew and all these people, and that whole profession. I hate to paint everybody with the same brush, but I mean, common sense. Common sense, I think, is the key. What's right and wrong. Hopefully, that inner mechanism in your head. And I think that's the way to go. And to be unloading on somebody, to think that they're going to have the answer when all they're basically doing is regurgitating back to you. I would say what you say to them, and I guess on some level it feels good to talk to them. But what are they charging you? $100 an hour or whatever it goes for these days, at least. I mean, and they don't have their lives are just as fucked up as yours, if not more, because with more money comes more problems. So they're just dealing with a bigger a bigger kettle of fish to play with, and fiddling around with your mind. And I just don't. They'd say, "Hey, you gotta get this kid on the couch here." But I think I wanted to go back to what my impression of these shows is that, say, like a Steve Harvey type or an Oprah or Ellen DeGeneres or whatever. People are looking at them like they have the answers. They don't have the answers to anything. And their whole perspective is just totally different. Their whole lives are warped because they're famous. So their issues aren't going to be the issues that a regular person. I'm not regular by any stretch of the imagination, but the issues that would really get to like the normal person that don't have fame, that don't have fortune, that's just really struggling day to day, that don't fit into a 8-minute segment with $50,000 every 30-second advertisements or whatever they that don't fit into that reality. Their reality ain't the reality. Their reality is waking up every day being told how great they are, and all of those people have been probably very popular their whole lives. And for the most part, anyway, maybe some struggles early, but to reach the point that they're at in the stratosphere that they're living in, they're walking around like movie stars. All those people, so in the fame, and they have no grasp on and telling what the normal everyday person is supposed to be feeling or doing, or and everything is every little comment, and I know there's like the applause sign over the crowd telling them how to do it, because I went to the Letterman show and that disappointed me. I knew that there was some level of that, but I didn't know it was to the extent that they do it. And then they did the same thing at Wheel of Fortune too. I saw that in Boston on my birthday a few years ago, oddly enough, and that was fun. But anyway, to think that you're going to be able to lay on a couch or whatever, or to watch Dr. Phil or Steve Harvey or any of these people, and anything is going to really be of any sort of long-term gain to you. I would imagine that if you're sitting there talking to somebody or whatever, you might feel good, or even watching Steve Harvey show, you might feel good maybe for like a minute, like maybe 5 minutes after or whatever, but you're going to forget about all that, and you're going to go back to the way you are, the way your DNA has you wired. And, it's just, these things aren't, they're not long-term, not really long-term, they're just no long-term benefits into this stuff. So, to me be sitting there watching this Steve Harvey and telling everybody, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, given like Steve Harvey is like some sort of expert on marriage and some sort of whatever. He got a game show. He's a funny guy. He's a stand-up comic. All right, that makes your life a hell of a lot easier as far as meeting a woman or paying the bills or whatever, because the kind of money that he's been dealing with from the get-go, in the fame or whatever, you're just dealing with going through your whole life, just on a totally different sphere, a different type of it's just a different way, and that ain't the way of me, or say like 80% of the population or whatever. I don't know what the breakdown would be. I mean, I'm not, I just think that what they are representing is just a life. Well, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. No, you don't got to do anything, because where they're coming from ain't any sort of reality of anything, and I just, that's just my opinion, because I find it, I'll sit there and watch a little of it, and I'm just, I'm flipping, click. Okay, you can flip now too. I just had to get that out of my system, and if it's any help, boy, then that's pretty scary to me. As usual, adios.